The true turning point for me in my training was when I realized, when I finally let go of the mainstream ideas, of the mainstream rigidity, and I just went about it my way, and I focused on the things that I wanted to do. Because I realized after I finished up basketball and I started kind of messing around with different ways of staying fit, I realized that the key thing to all of this is to rock up. Uh, it really is. I don't know how many times I've heard people talk about how they've had 6 month stints of not training, or 12 months, or 2 years, or 10 years, or whatever. And I always kind of think to myself, why is that? Why is that? Is it because there is the accepted training programs out there, the accepted training ethics out there? And then if you don't like that in your particular stage in life, you can piss off. If you like it, you're welcome. For me, when I finally kind of realized that I'm going to do whatever the hell I wanted to do, and I basically on a day-to-day basis, was the turning point for me when I was like, I want to train every single day, because it doesn't matter what the mainstream wants you to do, or what the training programs wants you to do, or what all the superheroes of different sports want you to believe, and all that stuff. For me, it was like, okay, when I saw the Bulgarians train, when I first discovered the Bulgarian system, and I didn't come from a weightlifting background, this was all new to me. Anything with the barbell was new to me. Anything with the gym, like I played basketball from the age of 10 all the way to, let's say, about 20, and all I really cared about was going to the basketball court, going to the park and taking some shots, working on my 1-2 dribble, working between the legs, around like all these different combos, thinking about how I can be my defender, or how I can stay in front of the defender. And a lot of the training that I did, was basically running. It was basically running, going to the snake spit. If you live in Adelaide, you know about the snake spit, which is essentially a big sand dune track that you would run up and down. And it was kind of the gold standard of staying fit or getting really, really fit in the off season. So I used to do that. Occasionally I would do pull-ups and sit-ups and things like that, but it was never a conscious decision to progress those movements. It was never really a thing. Periodization, the word training systems or anything like that was very, very new to me. The only exposure that I had of periodization or thinking about progressing a certain thing was when I read about and when I started doing the Air Alert. It was a jumping program back in the day, which some of you guys might have heard of. And, that thing called for certain sets and reps and step ups and calf raises this way, that way, single leg jumps, lunges, like all that. So that was the first exposure that I had to training. Then I finished up basketball some 10 years after that, when I turned 21, started nursing. That was kind of the end of that era for me. And then after that, I was like, man, okay, I want to get into the gym. And I started reading about training programs, and and I tried different things. A lot of you guys asked me, have you tried a traditional program? I have. And what I found was that I wasn't really getting all that excited about it after a period of time. So I would do the 5x5 Texas method, and after a little while, I'm like, oh God, here we go again. I'm doing things they want me to do. And I had a bit of a quarter life crisis at that point. I got sick and tired of doing what other people wanted me to do. So around this time, I kind of started, searching wider, looking at different sports, different ideas, and somehow I saw a video about the Bulgarian training system. Somehow I kind of I don't know what led to what, but somehow I found out about the Eastern world, right? Pavel Tsatsoulin's of the world, Boris Sheiko, like these kind of characters. Started reading stuff about Pavel Tsatsouline. I realized he was a full-on author. Read Power to the People, read the Deadlift Program, like whatever the titles of those books were, and I started getting excited. I literally started feeling excited about training again, because I felt like, wow, these guys are so different, completely different take on fitness, on strength training, on periodization. Also, like the Bulgarians were like crazy. Like, you can't do max out every day. What are you talking about? That's a no-no. You're going to get hurt. You're going to break broken knees and hips. And then I kind of, learned about the squatting every day idea. Then I read about, Matt Perriman's book, Squat Every Day. Got that, read it a few times. And I started formulating these ideas that really, like, if you look at the whole spectrum of training, it is freaking wide, man. It is so wide. If you go from California all the way to Russia, everything in between, man, it's like German volume training 10 sets of 10? What the hell are they doing? And so I quickly kind of realized that there's vastly different thoughts when it comes to this. So then I thought, why don't I start thinking about this for myself? My God, that was a big transition in the way I thought about things. And around that time, I started doubting not just what I was doing, but also what everything else around me was. I started doubting history. I started doubting medicine. I started doubting political systems. I started just really question marking everything I saw. And that kind of, let's say, that transitional period in my psyche, in my mental understanding of the world, I started really questioning everything. And that's kind of where all of this was born from. I soaked up that there was huge variations out there. So why am I sticking to one variation? Because I believe this guy. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. And then all these stories started coming out. Social media started taking off, and you start to see fake natties, and you start to understand that every single Olympian on the weightlifting stage is doping. Armstrong's doping with the cycling. This guy's doping. The baseball guy, Barry Bonds, is doping. Everyone's doping. I'm like, hold on a minute here. So you want me to buy your program and believe you? Everything around here is set on fire. You're telling me that I'm not going to catch on fire if I start messing around with your thoughts? I started really being doubtful about everything and anything around me. I started approaching every single thought with a question mark. It got to a point where I was a little bit too much, like I didn't believe anything that I read. And I kind of oscillated between these extremes for a little while, and finally I settled into this idea of, look, mate, I'm not going to go to the Olympic stage. I'm not going to do anything special when it comes to lifting or training or anything fitness. Why don't I just do what I want to do? And the only must variable that I have is that I'm going to do this every day. This is where the idea started from. And so now I find myself, I kind of latch onto these ideas and I carry myself. Well, I'm going to start back squatting max weight every single day for 31 days. Who's going to say no to me? I don't care. I don't care what the mass psyche out there thinks. I don't care what the ethics of the sport, of the morals. I'm doing what I want to do. Simple as that. I'm sick of all the rules and regulations out in the rest of my life. I want to express my freedom, and here we are. And this freedom is the very essence, is the very reason why I'm going so many days in a row. People do not understand. When you are free, you are powerful. And in just big general strokes, I'm going to say this. The system does not want powerful people within it. The system wants you to be heavily regulated, heavily suppressed, and controlled. With all of that in place, you are controlled. If you have a free mind roaming the world, that is pure danger. Pure danger. To the people in power and to the people that are observing from the sidelines. I don't know how many times I've been attacked about the way I train. Like, why do you care about the way I train? But there's this insecurity about free minds out in the world. The system has taught us to go at them. The system has taught us to be like, that stinks, that man smells, move away from him, he's different. Something is different about that man, move away. Don't do that. Everyone says you're going to die, you're going to break your knees, you're going to end up in a wheelchair, snap spine. Be free. Be free. Right now, I'm in love with the front squat. I don't want a back squat. There's no rules to this. I want a front squat. Why? I don't know. My gut tells me that I should be front squatting. I'm being drawn to the barbell much harder with the thought of front squats. I don't want to do back squats right now. Simply, like, I'm just literally following my heart right now, and it's telling me I can't wait to get to tomorrow's training session already because of front squats. And I've had a lot of fun in the last few weeks doing front squats. Ever since I stopped the 31 days of 200 kilos back squat, I'm now doing front squats. And I didn't plan to go that long without back squatting. The idea was to deload a little bit and get back to back squatting and try and 215 or 220 back squat. But I didn't feel it. I'm not being drawn to it. I'm not excited to do that, so I ain't going to do it. I'm honest like that with myself, and I'm free like that. So, front squats. Today I went to the gym. I wanted to do some deadlifting. I didn't want to make a whole racket in the house. This is the only freaking day off that I have of the week where I can kind of slip out of the normal schedule and go to the gym. So I did. Cameraman was free, so it was great. We went, and surprise, surprise, I hit a 180 front squat. I have not hit that in months. This year, I have not hit it. Probably I need to go back to sometime in November or someplace like that, since the last time I hit 180 on the front squat. I think this is the third time in my life that I hit 180. I think I hit 180 the first time as a PR, then I hit 182.5 as a PR. And then since then, I don't think I've hit it. I'll probably have to go back into the log to really kind of make sure. But the point is, I haven't hit this many times before. I'm in love with what I'm doing. I'm free, and I do it in waves. Tomorrow, I might not want to do front squats anymore. I might do back squats again. I don't know. But it's free, and it draws me back to the barbell every single day. And I encourage people that are listening to this video, to these thoughts, to be more free. Be free. I know it's hard to kind of break away and step off the beaten path, head your way into the forest of different thoughts, your thoughts. It's really scary to listen to your thoughts, right? Best to listen to somebody else. Best to listen to that podcast. Best to read that book. Listen to that guy. Listen to that guy. It's almost like this. There's a mass movement of whoever is not in my head is right. People just tend to, especially in this day and age in social media, they believe others more than themselves. Whatever I have is shit. The neighbor's shit is better because it's over the fence. There's a lot of this type of thinking. And so everyone's like, oh, I'm going to hop on that program, hop on this program, hop on that program. Did you see that guy? Oh, he's the new shit. Oh, everyone's just running around instead of just stopping and thinking for themselves. I'm not saying you can't consume different thoughts. You can't challenge your own thoughts. But what I mean is that I don't think a lot of people out there sit down and actually think about their thoughts. Think about what they want to do. When you stop an activity, when you stop going to the gym, when you stop seeing a girl, when you stop doing a uni degree, when you stop a certain job, there has to be a bloody reason. And when you stop going to the gym, I want you to think, why did I do that? Why did I stop? What if I changed something within that gym routine? Would that have stopped me from leaving? The chances are you probably would have stayed if you really followed your heart. Right? Would you really want to marry that girl if you didn't love her? You picked that girl because you loved her. Right? You followed your heart. And you're going to stay forever because you followed your heart. It didn't trick you. Sometimes we think too much with our heads and we run after our thoughts and ideas and we don't feel. Right now I'm feeling huge gravitational pull to the barbell when I start to think about front squats. I'm doing front squats. I've not done a back squat in probably a month now. I don't know, probably a month. After doing back squats for a month. How crazy is that? Hit 180 today. Great. It's a great celebration of me wanting to do what I want to do, right? It wasn't a drag to get to 180. It was fun the last few weeks hitting the barbell for 10 sets of 10 every day. It was fun. And you know what? I'm looking forward to the 10 sets of 10 with the empty bar tomorrow as well. Think about thinking about. Let me say that again. Think about thinking about. Question your thoughts. I don't want to go to the gym. Why? Why do you not want to go to the gym? Because you've penned some shit in, or you're following a program from 2 months ago? You have evolved since the 2 months has passed. You have evolved. Sorry to say, man, but you have evolved. Those thoughts and ideas that you had 2 months ago are expired. Newsflash. You are different new. Cellularly speaking, a lot of the things have already been replaced. Change. Change with the times. Don't feel guilty to be free. Guys, I want to appreciate all of you guys for staying this long in the video. I want to give a shout out to all of my Patreon support. But in particular, there's a new name to the list. A fella by the name of Dragos. I'm going to butcher your last name, my man. I'm so sorry. Iog Gulescu. I want to take the time to say thank you for supporting me. You're joining a list of many people, as you can see on the screen. Lots of people have come my way and supported me, given me a tap on the back. So that means a lot to me, and that's why I've taken the time to actually reach out to you and say thank you for doing this. Appreciate all of you guys, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.